Hello, good evening. And tonight, this is what we're working on. The Agastus box set, which is apparently a bit of a dog to a lot of people just because nobody likes the Desolation Marines. And yeah, I made some and I kind of tweaked them a little. And then I saw another Augustus box set on Amazon and it was super cheap. Like I think it was originally going for like 200 and some dollars. And on Amazon, it was 98 for some reason. And I think just because it didn't sell well and it was people had a ton of them. And so I thought, okay, I'd get one. I don't need 10 more Desolation Marines. So I have taken them and I'm making them into Assault Marines, which is okay if you have a bunch of extra gear left over because I had Blood Angels. I had a couple of combat patrols from Blood Angels where I took their assault squads and I made them into a Vanguard veteran and a jump squad. So I have a lot of chain swords left around. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to take them and convert them into assault marines. And I'm going to see how the different postures look. Maybe they look cool, maybe they won't. I mean, the sergeant's not bad. Sergeant's kind of like, looking tough, looking very stern. But we'll see. And from then, I think I may move on. I got a bunch of 3D printed gear for Raptor's Dreadnought, which that should be fun because it's all sorts of little gear to add on to the back of the Raptor, and I think it's a new gun and some emblems, but it's all sorts of like camouflage netting and extra gear to make it look very Raptorsy. So that is my plan for tonight. And let me go ahead and get the camera situated down to look at the work area. It's a little messy because I was messing around with it earlier, but this is what we're doing. Which, although, kind of don't really need this, I don't think. Well, do need to know so I can make the torsos and everything look right. That's the thing. But okay. Oh, I should also say hi. Hi. If my keyboard worked. Hi. There we go. Okay, so what ones do I have? Okay, so I've got 2 done already. So I need to move on to the next group, which is 41, 44, 42, 43. You get basically 2 sprues, so you have to do every single figure twice. The same sprue. Okay, so 44. And you have this snips the right way around. Oh, actually, I think. Oh, yeah, this is, I can't do that one because it's the alternate if you don't want to make sergeants. So I need to do something else. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's a lot easier. Let's see. There's 1. 2. Like really, if they just sold Marines with just torsos and legs, I'd have so many extra parts. So many extra parts, enough to make like a few more squads. Because you've got a ton of heads and a ton of arms. Lots of weapons. But I guess there's a reason why Games Workshop does not do that. Although I saw a guy on Etsy had some 3D printed ones. But I looked at his site and it looked really rough. Like all of his stuff did not have anything clean. Like all the extra resin bits. I don't feel like doing that. On top of it, it'll kill you. Like outright. I have, I don't know, that vampire video that I posted, I have that song from it stuck in my head right now. Oops, I just popped the camera. That's not good. Just popped the camera with the sprue. But this is bad that music that you generated is stuck in your own head. Where's this other leg? There it is. Also, hello. All right. That's all we need. So these two, and then we need two heads and a bunch of shoulder map pads, two knives, two empty holsters, two backpacks, and then pistol, chain sword. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, time to clean them up. Hopefully these won't take me too long and I can move on to something else too. Not too long from now. Because like there are things that I assemble that are things that like I want to work on immediately and soon, which is like the dreadnought. These guys I kind of want to assemble so I can get them off the shelf, free them up a little bit, free up the space. Also because having boxes of them kind of weigh on my mind. Well, apparently not as much as some other boxes because I've got some there that have been, over a year old. Oh, I did not cut that well at all. I probably should sharpen my snips. I think I was saying that all last time too. You got to get the mold lines off the helmets. They're very prominent, usually. I worry sometimes. I think that the newer generation to the hobby, like my nephew, like they don't have patience to do some of the stuff you got to do to prep to get miniatures ready to paint. Then again, I used to be very meticulous. But I've loosened up recently when I realized like how fun it is to use weathering to cover up mistakes or accelerate things. You can do that now. Like there's a bad glop of paint, you just slap some dirt on it. The Desolation Marines aren't really that bad. So long as like if you don't complete their gun with all the extra like missiles and whatnot, it doesn't look so ludicrous. Like if you just use their base gun, which is what I did with the first batch of them, they look fine. They just look like guys with big guns. But then you slap all the missile launchers on it, it looks like giant Nerf guns. Oh man, this has very prominent mold lines. Also, hello. Working on Agastus sounds cooler. Task Force stuff tonight. I'm doing the Desolation, Obliterator, whatever, Marines, and then moving on to a Dreadnought, I'm thinking. I did the Heavy Intercessors and the Lieutenant earlier, off screen. So I was just in that kind of mood today. All right, that's one. this other one here. Basically, since you have two, oh, hey, Vanzig, the Storm Eagle and Agastus. Oh, do you have a picture? I didn't see an option to turn off like a URL mute on the interface, but is there a URL mute? I imagine there has to be. But I'd be interested in seeing it, man. Storm Eagle's nice. I was looking at it, and they have a Etsy version that's supposed to be like a Storm Eagle proxy, but it looks like a drone. It's got like 4 turbofans instead of jet engines. Why was Agastus a mess? Was it bad casting? Did you? Yeah, you got them from China, I think, right? China. It's always nice when a set goes together well. Just a bad cast. Oh, that's too bad. Oh man, that's terrible. And doesn't that, it kind of weighs on you? Like I remember I got like a really bad cast one time from a really good printer, usually like they're good. And I remember trying so hard to make it work because you don't want to have to tell them that they messed up. Oh, good. Well, that's good then. You're going to make it work, or, I mean, if it becomes too much, you should talk to the printer. Green stuff on, yeah. But these are the ones you got from way far away. Man, this has huge mold lines. Oh, well, they're probably best to make do, I guess. So remember Twitch, you could just flip a switch and it would let you show URLs. I could not find anything because I was looking for it. Because I asked somebody like a few weeks ago to show a picture of the stuff they were working on, but we couldn't figure it out, or I couldn't figure it out. But I've been painting vampires lately, enjoying them a lot. Weirdly enough, I thought I really like some of the castings, and and while I was painting them, you know how like sometimes you're painting something, you're like reserved. You're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be any good. But then I came away and I was just like, oh wow, I really like the look of these guys. I have to say, despite not caring for the rules, Age of Sigmar stuff is nice. Almost done with the cleaning of these two guys. Did you lose connection, Vanzig? I mean, if you did, you wouldn't be able to tell me. That's too bad if so. For folks who don't know, and for posterity, Vanzig is my online streaming wind beneath my wings. He keeps me going. He keeps me honest. I suppose my wife helps too sometimes, I guess. All right, these two guys can go together now. Oh, blue. How do these guys look? This guy's got sort of like a wide stride. It's always good to work on 2 of the same model at once if you can, because you can rotate between them and give them extra time to dry. get better sets usually because you manipulate them less. One thing about these guys, though, is they've got little tubes on their hips. That's something people will be able to say, hey, aren't those Desolation Marines? I'm like, no, they're not. Or maybe I'll just shave them off, or I'll put something to cover them. I'll put like their knives or their pistol holsters opposite. It always amuses me to think that also my wife might be watching. If she is, I gotta cut this off. If she is, I'm forcing and subjecting her to several hours of Warhammer. And that amuses me. Cut that off. Can I get that in there? This is a cannibalized power pack. So it will not exactly fit. So I'm going to have to cut that off, and then I'm going to have to cut this off. Shoop. And just glue it flat. There. That should work. Now I have to eyeball it a little bit better. It's raining here. Don't know if you can hear it pounding on the roof. Or not really pounding, kind of drizzling. Legs. Yeah. Go back. There we go. Leg. Okay. Oh, darn it. You know what? I should probably. Okay. Cool. That would be nice. This did not glue on very good. I think I'm going to have to use super glue. That's what I get for trying to hodgepodge stuff. And some accelerant on the back. There. So you can't use the Desolation Marine backpacks because they've got a big chunk out of them. You have to stick that sensor thing on top of it, which isn't bad in and of itself. Because it's a cool effect, but not for assault marines. That's weird. This is not fitting or sticking. Give that a little bit more time. Work on the other one. It's kind of funny. I turned my first foot assault squad into jump intercessors, and then I turned I turned the other assault squad on foot into Vanguard veterans with jump packs. And so now I want an actual assault squad on foot, and so I'm taking these Desolation Marines and making them assault. So maybe if I had just had patience. All right, that seems solid-ish. There we go. Should probably put these guys up front and center because they're done. All right. Get the full pistol up. Looks to be in action pose. Plus he's shooting in the air, but waste of ammo. Right. This guy get his other leg. Man, my wife made a delicious dinner tonight of air fried chicken and Brussels sprouts and some mashed potatoes. Oh, they have flight stands they can go on, but I gotta paint them first so it stays clear. Ah, yeah. Flight stands always, I want something to manipulate the big things. The link did not show up, dude. Yeah, it did not. Let me see if there's. Do you know if there's anywhere I can turn that off so I can show, like, change moderation? No, not there. Manage? Nope. Sorry, man. The link did not show up. I don't know how to turn off the restriction. I'll look into it for next time. I do want to see what you've done with the Storm Eagle and the Cestus. Is that how you say it? Cestus or Cestus? Cestus, I think. Helps knock that over. Yeah, me too. Castus, it could be, if it's, Latin-ish. Or would that be Caestus? Oh. Yeah, I have. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've been like, oh yeah, Kaiser, Caesar. I didn't like the first 2 episodes of the second season. Like, I thought they were like a little draggy, but I'm liking the more recent ones. There we go. Okay. Oh. See, I don't remember how it was. I remember playing Fallout Vegas. I remember having a hard time getting it to run right. Like it would crash on me all the time. Yep. Case this. Well, I remember my Latin teacher in high school. He would say that, and also that V was always W. Vestis virum viridit, veni vidi vici. Yeah, exactly. There you go. But there's still like some professional like contention about that. But yes, but it's not surprising that Lucy McLean might be wrong on something, you know? All right, shoulder pads. I hate it when you like get a shoulder or get an arm in a good pose and then you try to put the shoulder pad on and you can't, or it looks awkward. There we go. And there's helmet. These are kind of cool. Like that's not a bad pose for an assault marine. Let me see if I can get there better focus. There. That's not a bad pose for an assault marine. I mean, it looks like he's firing. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I kind of feel like it's better to finagle the shoulder pads. So I put the backpack on first because the backpack, you don't really have as much wiggle room. All right, now I need to get rifle or his sidearm. I should probably do the knife first. Oh wait, I did not. Did I shave this? Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, that's what they do with a lot of the poses, but I'm just going with this because, you know, I want an assault squad. I don't want another desolation squad. Why is this not gluing? Stick. There we go. I think I'll put the holster on his hip. Ah, bugger. Glued to my fingers. Stay. And let's take one of these. Did I shave? Yeah, I shaved that already. Doesn't look like it. Did I miss? No, it's all right. I'll try it over here on this hip because it feels like there's a little bit more room here. There we go. Stick. Maybe adjust his head slightly. Yeah, my wife and I have been watching Fallout, and we've been watching that movie, The Tiger Tank, on Amazon. It's been fun. Don't watch as much stuff. We like occasionally we like watch some YouTube things. There we go. Pow, not bad. And this dude, let's see, where's his at? Here's his at. Yeah, it's interesting. It's the first time I've seen on screen where they show that the tiger was submersible. And I was like, no way. And they did it. They did a fun job with it. But it's like some of it is like, why are they doing this? But I'm hoping that it'll prove out why they're doing it. They've sent them on this particular mission alone. I'm like, oh, I'm telling my wife, like, tigers, usually need support depending on how late it is in the war. They usually get it, but yeah. Okay. Knife. Okay, I'm going to put the knife on the other hip. Of course, you need to turn it on into German. Change the sound settings because the dub is very bad. But did you ever see The Beast, which was a movie about the Russians in Afghanistan? It was about a lone T-80 or let's see. Take movies. Yeah. One driving alone, and yeah, The Beast was a lot of fun. Beast has not aged well, but it was a good movie. Tank Boy. I remember watching that when I was, I think, 15, years and years ago. What's another good? Cross of Iron. That was a good World War II movie. I think I forget his name. The guy who played Flint. Coburn. That was a good movie. All right. So there. Let's see. Focus. There. So, not bad. So let's see. I don't enjoy too many movies about the Pacific Theater, like Bridge on River Kwai. That's a great one. I enjoy that one, but Midway was fun, but a little dry. Not like the more recent Midway. I'm talking about like the old Midway. The more recent Midway is crazy. The Michael Bay-ish one. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Here's 11. I should cut the cabling off of this guy immediately. Minus 14, minus 14. Because some of these are big, long cables that you're going to need to chop off to make them look like assault troops. Started cleaning Porphyrion, so heavy. Really? I've never used JB Weld. Is that something you would use for that job? All right, that's going to be an undertaking. Oh, I should chop off the... snip. Snip. All right, knife and knife, pistol or holster and holster, shoulder pads, heads, and then pistol and chainsword, pistol and chainsword. All right. 2-part epoxy. Really? But you have to have something to hold the pieces together during that time, or do you just like clips or clamps or something like that? Like I used to have alligator clips sometimes when I was having a hard time getting things to glue together. You can clamp a rubber band, just lean them on something. I imagine with the bigger pieces, it should be easier to do too. I have STLs for one of the larger knights. I haven't messed with it yet. I was thinking about it, but I kind of like lost some energy for 3D printing. It can be such a hassle. So I've started to just 3D print things as I need them for utility, less big projects. Like I needed a 150 by a 100 millimeter base. So that's the last thing I printed out for the, the vampire count I worked on just recently. Because I did not have any. You know how much they charge for that for a 150 by 100 millimeter base? It's like $20. Crazy talk. Yeah, I was looking at Games Workshop's website because I got like a 15% off coupon, which yeah, big whoop. But I got that over the holidays, and which puts them down to like normal mail order prices. $8.50. Seriously? Maybe I was maybe I was looking at a different maybe I had nationality set incorrectly. $8.50 still though, dude. Seriously, because I just checked that this was like a week ago. Maybe I was looking at the flight base because I was doing like a dozen things at once at that time. I just remember being like, I'm going to go get my 3D printer going again and stop downstairs. But what I remember is it being $20 and just being grumpy about it. It's kind of funny that the things that you get outraged about. Well, I wouldn't say it was really outrage, it's general grumpiness. Did you see the new miniatures that went up for pre-sale this Friday? I actually pre-ordered the Catan for the Necrons, the new Nightbringer. It looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to painting that. The other stuff like Titus and stuff, Ultramarines, I do not care for. The new Necrons maybe at some point, but I really wanted the Nightbringer. Although I'm wondering if you have an option with the new Nightbringer too. He's got like a weird face. It's very, screamy, shrieky. I was thinking, can you just go back to just the helmet, or not the helmet, the hood, where it has nothing, where it's just an empty hood. Or heck, I suppose I don't have to put the head in there, and it'll be an empty hood. Who knows? That might be a cool thing to do. But like any figure that incorporates the scarabs into the base. Always like painting those little guys. Take a drink of soda. Refreshing. I did not like the Necrons until I saw which one is the guy who's doing the vivisection on the person who's fallen? Zarek, or Zarek's the Silent King. Zareth, something like that. But that figure sold me on the Necrons, where he's like he's a quadruped. He's spearing some guy. Yeah, I really like that figure. Saras, thank you. He is very cool looking. And then I was like, oh, and the Silent King is cool looking. And then I was like, oh, and I've totally forgotten that the Catan existed. And I know we disagree, but I like the death marks. I just like robot snipers. I'm a sucker for that. Oh, that was not done. That was not done. Done enough, but not done to proper standards. There. So I went to the eye doctor on Friday, and yesterday. And they're saying the pressure in the eye that had surgery was like a little bit too high. And so I'm like, I have to get surgery again. So I'm pretty grumpy about that. Well, slap the sniper bodies on a destroyer bike thing. Yeah, I don't know. Well, they do look a little silly. I think they should have like cloaks, because cloaks mean sniper, apparently. But they do seem a little skinny. But I definitely like the immortals you can make with the cloaks from the Etsy store, because they look very spooky, Baron. Okay, 2 more dudes to put together. Done cleaning them up. Oh, did I? Yeah, I cleaned the sides. I had to snip off some of the cabling, and they're clean, so that'll work. But those new destroyers are kind of cool looking. Although that box set, the 500 Worlds Invasion box set of destroyers, does not seem to be very good value for money, because it's like, what, 8 or 9 figures? Let's see, the Psychromancer, Chronomancer with tentacle legs. I like some of the character models. I like them. Oh yeah, that is smart. So they could actually like transition. So they wouldn't, maybe if they like didn't have movement penalties for verticality, or shoot, if they had oh no, I don't know. I was thinking a grappling hook or grappling arm or something. But then the whole thing with Necrons is they're supposed to do a lot of teleporting. But hard to give that as a power in a miniatures game and not have it be too rough. Or it's just not that big a deal. It's like a color detail. Like they ignore this terrain and still just move X amount of inches. I was going to ask you, Vanzig, did you also hello? I was going to ask you, Vanzig, if you had looked at the rules for Conflict 47 yet, because I'm looking at some of their stuff and I watched this like hour-long thing about the story of it. And I was like, that is kind of cool. And I may actually pick up a few pieces for it. Because weirdly enough, like the American gear looks really nice. Not Conflict 47. Well, let me know if you do. Let me know your thoughts. So I'd be curious. Trench Crusade's having a lot of a kerfluffle lately, apparently. I got a little turned off on them just when I saw the prices of the plastics. I was like, dude, you build your audience and your player base, then you charge the Games Workshop prices. Not immediately. But maybe that's just because I'm a cheap bastard. Oh, I should do backpack. I forgot the backpacks. That's what I did. There's one, and there's another. All right. I need to shave these. Like, don't go for the rip-off immediately. Well, I mean, they're kind of cool figures to take them to, like if you're running Kriegsman, well, there you go. There's some cool figures. There's some cool kit bashing options. But, was it $50 for 8 figures? Maybe I'm just being too much of a pill. Alternate history is kind of cool, which is kind of why I was like, oh, Conflict 47. I like the idea of alternate history, but then it seemed like the writing was a little bit weak. And I did a little like digging on the rabbit hole. Hey, Chan. I am working on changing Desolation Marines into Assault Marines because I got the Agastus box set and I don't want more Desolation Marines, so I'm just making them into Blood Angel Assaults. Although actually, I don't know. I'm not giving anything specifically Blood Angel to them in case I want to give them to somebody else in the chapters. So I think I've got Raptors that are assaults already, like foot assaults. But I've got plenty of close combat things for Dark Angels, but yeah, and Space Wolves. So I don't know. They might end up just being Blood Angels by default. But yeah, I'm just taking their bodies and using old bits and pieces from older sets. And then I might move on to something else. I don't know if I told you last time, but I got 3D printed some Dreadnought pieces for the Raptors. And I was going to make a Brutalis or Redemptor. Because they were very cool looking. This is not going to work. This arm is totally not going to work. Unless maybe I put his arm down, put this arm up. Yeah. And he looks like he's getting ready to attack. There, that works. I don't know. I don't know. Which way does his head go on this pose? I don't know. I may have to find another chain sword. Maybe he's angrily looking to the right. Maybe he's doing like a momentary katana samurai pose. I don't know. I do not like it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get another chain sword. Got some spares. There we go. Instantly better. And just chilling and talking to Vanzig. There. Do you think GW is going to primarisify the Vanguard veteran set? I don't know. Vanguard veterans are kind of niche, you know. They're cool. They fill a really good slot. You know, shields, close combat, durable jump troops. That's awesome. But I don't know if there'll be a plastic set. I mean, watch. You know, that's the next thing they do. But I think GW might feel like that niche is already filled with jump intercessors, and they're selling jump intercessors in groups of 5. They'd have to change the because I think Vanguard veterans come in groups of 10, and so I don't know. So that's a roundabout way of saying, well, who? There we go. But what I did is I took assault intercessors and I gave them jump packs and shields and whatnot, made them my Vanguard veterans for Blood Angels. I haven't painted them yet though. Just put them together. There's such a good stat line too, though. And I like the concept of them. And that's the old Sanguinary Guard. Yeah, new Sanguinary Guard or 3. With no wings, man. Which is all sorts of messed up. I mean, I could see them equal chance of making them legends, you know. But I hope not. I would like a new set. Oh, you haven't yet? Are they the old ones? Or did you use the new ones? Oh. The glue had not stuck. All right. Chop. Let's see. Focus. Focus. No. Oh. There. Oh. Still got to put his gear on him. See, they look cooler in a lot of ways, but they're still like, you know, tinier. It's hard with the whole Primaris thing, the scale jump. Keep patching a bunch of sets together to be Phobos. Oh, yeah, you know. Oh, Phobos Vanguard vets. Have you seen those breachers from Horus Heresy? They have shields that might look better if you're going for like Raven Guard professional vibe. And why is this not sticking? Weird. But the breachers from Horus Heresy, like Vanzig, he's into Horus Heresy, but I saw that box set you could take them and put them on the foes, because the other shields, if you find like other shields, they might be too big for Phobos armor. But I mean, then again, it's okay to have them be a little bit big, because Warhammer's not exactly a game of going small. This arm is not working right. Stick. It's not happy. Okay. I gotta get the tchotchkes onto this guy. So let's see. Right there. Primaris version using Dark Furies from 30K. Oh, I'd like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see that. Let's see, I'm trying to fit lightning claws. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a difference in scale there. I feel the same way. I've got all these lightning claws sitting left over, and it makes me feel bad. Like, oh, should I have magnetized them? But I'm like, no, lightning claws are garbage. But then again, they look cool, you know. Like, I kind of want to be able to. I miss the time when you could equip Terminator character models with thunder hammers, storm shields, and lightning claws. Those are the days. You know what needs to come back, though? The Raven Guard Sniper Squad, the 5 sniper rifles. What are they called? Morin Squad? Something like that? That squad needs to come back, and I would totally steal it for the Raptors. I'd be like, today we are using the Raven Guard army list. And then watch people say, no, you can't, unless it's actually Raven Guard. More Dathan. Yes, thank you. Those guys are great. I was playing around with the modded up Dawn of War, and they are amazing. That more Dathan, yeah, they are super nice. You can actually get a Primaris scale version on Etsy, and I've been tempted at times, but the ones that are out there have like a really strong Raven aesthetic, which so you might like that channel if you find it on Etsy. But and I was like, oh no, my Raptors are not quite that Raven themed. We just have a few hanging around on bases. That's it. All right. All right, there, that dude's done. Hacha. I can't even, he's not focused. There's a little focus there. Hacha. All right. More days. I don't know where I got more hen from. Probably because I'm a noob. Let's see. Oh no. Oh, that sucks, dude. That's one thing, like supposedly you can, I've had really hard time with barrels that are bent in resin, where like I'll heat them up and I'll bend them back and I'll let them cool, and then I'm like, there, fixed. And then as soon as I get like a warm day, zoop, they bend back. Cult says so many Raven Guard files. Oh, do they? They could be. I got a few like Raptor things. Like that's where I got my Elias Isidon, was off of Cults, and I took pieces of him from other things. So he's like got 3 pieces of or models from 3 different 3 pieces bleh, bits from 3 different models is what I was trying to say and failing. And I've had no luck straightening barrels, like, or at least them maintaining a straight curve. Why are you not sticking? I used a heat gun. Maybe that's it. Maybe that was the problem. Yeah. Yeah, heat gun. I'll probably give it another try if I ever want to. Like the ones I got were some basilisks, artillery pieces. And if I ever paint them, if I ever get going on the Krieg army, then I'll probably give them another try. Okay. This dude is just about done. Honestly, though, like the Desolation Marines are not that bad. Just if you don't assemble their guns all the way. Like somebody just took their guns and just kept slapping on things onto them. More and more things on the rails. Yeah. I like the barrel. I like the belt fed clip, or the not belt fed clip. I like the belt feed. But everything else, like the missile packs, the rotary missiles, not so much. All right, so that's 6 down. We are on to next dude, which is 21, 22, 23, and 24. So 2 sets of them. And this has tubing on the chest again as well. Honestly, guys, like I've been, I could see myself being distracted by painting more vampires. I kind of want to paint more 40K, but every now and then I just sort of like look over the vampires like I should do some more of those guys. 24, there's 23 and 24. They're very rewarding. Do I really feel like huge? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like there's nothing in the current Primaris army that can really replace the Devastators. You know, there needs to be something where it's very clearly heavy weapons, kaboom. And I don't know. There's nothing that really feels like that to me. Until you get into those weird, what are the power armor dudes? The big power armor dudes. Vampires are weird. They're like sort of schizophrenic because they have super really tough, very strong single character models, and then they have garbage troops for the most part. Although, but all their vampire stuff is great. Then vampires and then zombies and skeletons, garbage. For like stuff in the middle, that's when they kind of split them off into other armies, like the Night Haunt and the Ghoul guys, which I forget what they call, something court. Those guys that's where like all the medium stuff went. So, but Soulblight Gravelord's got all the awesome vampires and all the crap. Blood Knights are cool though, man. Yeah, they don't really have much in between, channel. I'm trying to think. Well, the Grave Guard are like better than normal skeletons, but they're still not that great. But they also can come back to life pretty easily. What are the other ones? I don't know. It just seems to me like awesome or crap. Yeah, I think you can. Vanzig knows better than myself. Yeah, there's a ton of death factions. What is it, 4? Yeah, four death factions. But I'm making them into old world vampire accounts, and I'm loving it. I really love just painting the vampires right now. You'll know I'm off the deep end if I start painting like regiments of skeletons and zombies, though, because That is a hassle. See, the undead were like my first Warhammer Fantasy army guys, because it was the first box set was an undead army, and it was like $12, and you got 60 miniatures, and I was like, yes, take that, all my friends who waste their money. And then I got tabled like in the first couple of rounds of my first game because they are squishy. And they don't suffer from morale, they just disappear and die. So these are weird. But I was looking at the rules for Age of Sigmar, and it's just it's Necropolis Stalkers. Oh yeah, the Oscar Bone Reapers have some really cool figures. You should. I mean, the castings for Age of Sigmar are so nice. It's just they're impressive, and it's like people give it a bad rap. And sure, the rules are may not be the best, and it sucks what they did to the old world with it. But objectively, they are really nice sculpts. Splitting up all the pieces here. Oh, crap. Somebody's head fell on the floor, or almost did. There. Yeah. The lore is kind of, well, whenever you go to, when you switch from low fantasy and you go to this high concept fantasy where people are fighting over souls and where people are immortal, or where people are fighting between different dimensions, it suffers because it's much harder to latch onto that, to get into that, because it's much harder to connect your guys to it, where you're like, I'm fighting over Fire Realm B over with these other guys who are Death Faction C, and it's okay if we die, we'll just lose some memories and come back later. I kind of like the rules in a little way because they're like slightly more complex than 40K is right now, but it's still not like entirely my cup of tea. Where is my sergeant helmet? Did I already use it? No, there it is. Okay. The Ushoran, he was really cool. See, I kind of like that Vanzig. I kind of like the gimmick, but it's a good gimmick for a story. Yeah, nobility points, and yeah, but it's a cool like gimmick for tales and things. Oh, hi, Augie. My dog's over there. Yeah, and also their abilities are not that great. It's kind of like they need those abilities to compete, so you really have to focus on them. I don't know. Here I am talking like I'm an expert on Age of Sigmar, and I am not an expert on Age of Sigmar. Where was I? Oh, I'm shaving. Got to shave these guys. And I've got Sergeant Helmet all set. So I'm good. Okay. Where's my X-Acto knife? Right here. Well, it reminds me of like the Imperial Knights and the Space Wolf. You have to reach a certain point in the game with those guys to get their benefits for the army rules. And it's not the best. And they're not even super great rules. The rules that seem to make them more just competitive. As opposed to like, my favorite rules are the ones that are just a straight up buff, like Tau getting extra 8 inches of range on everything. Let's see, yeah, or like how Khorne armies are weak, gentle guys. When they die, they get blood, tide points. That's the best. What? See, I don't even know that, Vanzig. I haven't even looked at the rules that closely. Yeah, Warhammer Fantasy, it's also Warhammer Fantasy is you can tell that the emphasis is on the stat line, while Warhammer Age of Sigmar and 40K currently, the emphasis is on the special rule. The stat line is not quite as important as this getting these special gotcha rules into place. You know, combining devastating wounds with sustained fire with whatever. Well, Warhammer Fantasy is about like racial special rule and then the stats and their equipment. Of course, that goes out with the window depending on the magic system you use. The last time I played Fantasy was in 4th edition, way back when. Well, the old world looked kind of nice. Let's see. I've heard half of Age of Sigmar armies in games have units with abilities to teleport around. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with, also 40K is that the people call it the uppy downy. And a war game ceases to be as, not as strong of a war game when maneuver has less of an impact, Like I remember playing Epic 40K way back, and you had to give some strong thought because ranges were so strong on that, and movement was at such a level that you had to give a lot of thought where you put units that were going to foot slog, because it was entirely feasible they could be out of the action for a good chunk of time. Let's see. 10-foot trolls with some build to teleport like 6 to 10 anywhere night. I don't know enough about Age of Sigmar to speak to that, though, honestly. Like, I've never watched a battle report of Age of Sigmar. I should probably do that before talking trash about it, I think, well, actually, I take that back. I think I watched one battle report, but I didn't watch it all the way through when Skaven Tide came out. But see, I got Skaven Tide because those figures are beautiful. Even the Skaven. Seem to be just zip forward, things instantly fall over dead. They have a lot of systems for recovery, though, don't they? Like a lot of people recovering wounds and coming back into the fight, which I think is nice. It's always good to have people coming back in and keeping players involved, but as long as it's not too rubber bandy. Yeah. Oh, really? I see. That's too bad. Well, it's because they also do. There's no really to wound, like having a big guy. There's no big toughness guys, because the rules like eliminated toughness in essence. So that's like $600 worth of bloodthirsters. Didn't they have different types of bloodthirsters at one point? Yeah. So that's the thing. That getting rid of toughness is kind of meh. But people can argue. I mean, the math supposedly comes out somewhat equal by giving things a whole lot more wounds and such. But I don't know. It just does not feel the same. And it is a way of keeping units as one class separate from another. So each bloodthirster weapon is a different profile. I just remember at one point looking into it. Hey, Smooth Jazz. Yeah, the Vampire Prince is up. I posted it with the vampire theme song. Smooth Jazz, you've met Van Zig. Channel was on earlier. I don't know if he's still here. I imagine imagine there's a way I can see who's on right now, but I don't have that interface up. Did I overlapped? Let's stay over here. I'm pretty happy. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with that Vampire Prince. It is the okayest figure I've done so far. Cool. It's always nice, like my favorite people all in here now, hanging out, talking. I'm getting close to finishing these guys, though. And how long is it? It's only been an hour 15. I bet I will have time to do at least some of the Dreadnought, maybe. Hey, smooth jazz. Let me know if you want to see the Dreadnought pieces before you go, channel. They're cool Raptors things. I'll have to dig them out, though. While I clean these guys. But this one guy, Cyberbrush, does all those Raptor pieces. They're so nice. Well, the thing is, I use them for those other two squads, and I feel like, oh, I don't want to use too many of them. So I think I'm going to save those Raptor pieces for like character models down the line. But I'm looking forward to the new releases that they put up. Some of the Necrons, although the rules for Titus look kind of crazy. Super durable. I guess he's like the mascot for 40K now. There we go. Almost done. These guys are not. I wish they had some anime or some running poses for these guys, like Vanzig was saying earlier. Because they don't really look like assault marines. They look a little more stationary, but they'll serve. I need to think of like a gimmick for them, maybe. Thanks, Smooth Jazz. He's pretty cool. I really liked painting him. I know. I'm tempted to just go off on a tangent and just start painting more vampires. Because I've got like 6 or 7 more of the guys, and then the Blood Knights, which are crazy. Bloodthirsters, Cabandas, Scarbrand, and Angron. Oh, see that strikes me as that not necessarily that would not be a winning army, but it would be a fun army. You know, be a fun army just to get everybody into combat. Oh, I need to chop this off. More tubes. What's the other one? Here it is. So of those guys, who has the best stat line? Is it Angron? Like I would imagine it'd be Angron or Cabanda, of course. Scarbrand, I don't know. He's really good in Total War Warhammer. Once he get his equipment. Yeah. Okay. I just remember Angron has his self-res, which is a big deal. Oh, really? I wonder why that is. He was Forge World though, wasn't he? So he was not exactly like a prominent figure out there. Oh well. But isn't he the one that they used to get beat up on, like in the stories? Like the main character of whatever novel beats up Cabanda. There we go. It's kind of nice hearing all the rain outside. Pitter patter. Six strongest bloodthirsters ever. Yeah. Yeah, Eldar avatars. I mean, the Grey Knights have killed like dozens of them. I just feel bad for them. At least they look cool. They're one of my favorite things to paint, an Eldar avatar. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you know what? I should have. Oh, well. Do the backpack after this. Should have done the backpack earlier. So, Venzi, you're going to get Dawn of War 4 or you're going to get Total War Warhammer 40K? Hargrim, Dreadaxe, Mightiest Bloodthirster, Anarion. Oh, he lost to Sanguinius. That's right. And then he kills he kills Angron too, doesn't he? And then dies to Horus. Poor Sanguinius. That looks better. Well, yeah, I mean, he's still visibly wounded and he can't fly. So he's automatically like listed lesser. But he has like a better like repeat attack thing. Or the last time I read his rules and oh gosh, what was it? It wasn't Sigmar, it was something else. Might have been Horus Heresy. Yeah, it's probably a year or two out. I kind of like them both, but I'm a little bit leaning towards Total War. Just because the Dawn of War stuff, the guys look a little like lumbering when they move. Their movements don't seem very graceful. Like they showed a picture of or picture animation of Lionel Johnson running forward, and he looked like when Buzz Lightyear was running, where he really lifts those knees very high. And I was like, oh man, that did not look good. Still, I bet it'll be pretty awesome. But now, like, I'll be looking for that. Yeah, he mouthed off the corn, and he got it. Yeah, his wings ripped off. Yeah, there's no stepping to corn apparently. Okay, shoulder pads. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I did not shave this one. I'm still not sure what is the next thing I'm going to paint. Like usually I'm mostly no. This time I don't know, Raptors Dreadnought maybe. Okay. This guy has a big divot in his left butt cheek. So I have to cover it up with his pistol. Because I guess like in his figure, part of his gun goes there. So I'm going to cover it up. No butt cheek divot. There. My problem has gone away. Where does this go now? This needs to go. Oh, crap. Oh, that works. I'm hoping whatever they do with the Cavill series is good. I feel like 40K is kind of like on the cusp. It could become very, very popular. If that, because Space Marine 2 has it in the zeitgeist right now. Okay. Now for the feedies. Oh, my back. I was vaguely thinking of painting some more terrain today. I got this one set out. I haven't painted terrain in a while since we moved here, so like 6 months ago. One of my first streams back. Let's see. I wish the Space Marine 2 does would license the engines. That is such a nice engine too, isn't it? I think they're going to go quick to Space Marine 3. I think they've got a lot of stuff already going for it. It's going to be Necrons, of course. Okay, there, this guy. Ta-da. All right. Next. This last guy, or this is the 8th guy, so 2 more after this. Well, didn't they use the first thing they used the Space Marine 2 engine for was World War Z, which is where they got the Tyranid stuff for all the massive numbers of Tyranids because they have massive numbers of zombies. I thought that was cool. Still didn't make me play the game because I'm zombied out. but I'm glad they're able to take that technology. What am I doing? Oh, I need this. I need his pistol to cover the divot in his butt. There. Yeah. I don't know. I've played Vermintide a little bit. You know, I would always just bounce off it. Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2. But I think also was when like I would play one of those games and I'd get through it, 15 minutes or so of a mission, and then I'd get out and I'd be like, oh, I need to do this 470 more times to make the character I want. Okay. So I kind of like did not go down that path. I think it was back then when you had to level up to get to a different class or something. I just don't have patience these days for leveling, I think. For like an MMO leveling or whatever. Like I like leveling in a RPG, like single player RPG. Yeah. Okay. This dude. To be fair, now since these Desolation Marines are being converted to Assault Marines, these are the most stationary looking Assault Marines that I have ever seen. Fallout 3. That's the Washington one, right? The Washington D.C. What's the premise of that? You're a vault. Yeah, that's like you start and it's your birthday and you take the test. It's been so long since I played that one. I should give it another try. And if I've already played a game and finished it, I don't have any qualms about like using cheat codes or stuff to like get my character back to where it was or what I was doing. Or even try out new specs. All right, last two guys. It is 31, 32, 33, 34. That's it? Yeah, that's it. Why does this has extra chest piece? Oh, probably because the sergeant has a different chest piece. Duh. Let's see. Birthday party, then a pretty dead city, empty streets, yeah. Nuke in the middle. Yeah, New Vegas was great. Oh man. New Vegas, I mean, if you're watching the Fallout season 2, they've gone back to Vegas, it's kind of neat to see how things have changed. New Vegas is so good because it gave you uh, robust choices and ways to approach it. Although I can't, or I haven't been able to get like the expansions to work. Every time I get to the expansion areas, my game would crash every time I've tried to play it. I should give it a try, see if they've done anything, but like remember when it first came out, I finished it, and then when the expansions came out, I tried it again. I could not get it to go. The show is not bad. I have to admit, the show is not bad. See, I haven't got to experience any of that. Like I was all ready to be all like blah blah blah, expecting it to be garbage. But I'm enjoying it. Of course, it's also rough, like when they take liberty with with lore and such. And they do have a few characters that are like self-insert characters. So it's like, eh. So you can tell like, the author really identified with this character. Dead Money, Honest Hearts. See, I haven't played any of those, man. I just played the basic game. You know, I think I should try it again and look up some graphics mods. What do you guys think was the actual Paragon choice in New Vegas? Whatever. I think House was good, guys. I think House gave you the best chance to revitalize and return to some measure of society. I think that's true. I mean, he was a reprehensible soul, but I don't know. It's like the alternative. Yeah, I don't know. I like. See, I did classical history was my major, so I'm like, oh yeah, Caesar, great. But I think it depends on what your goals are. Like personal freedom is for none of those guys. Even the NCR House would give you the best potential to get society back. Would it be a society that we would recognize as ethical or positive or moral? I don't think so, but it would ensure that things would progress, humanity would go on, I think. But I don't know. Oh, that's it. Okay. So, okay, one of these guys is a sergeant. So that's you. He's now a sergeant. Got that. And you or that, and there. All right, I think that's it. Did I get all that? Yes. Did I get his head? No, here's his head. Yeah. Okay. I gotta chop off the tube. For the chest piece. I sort of took a nihilistic approach though to Fallout whenever I played it. Fallout 1 and 2. I played Fallout 1 and 2, when I was a sprogling. And I don't know, back then I played and I would make the choices that would give me the biggest gun, pretty much. That was what I would do, because I was around about that age. Yeah. The Brotherhood was just a way to get power armor early. That was the main thing with them. In the Enclave. What I always want in New Vegas is the Chinese stealth suit. That is always the most fun thing. Oh, yeah? What were they? Oh, Dr. Farnsworth. So Billy West. Oh, Dr. Venture? Really? Interesting. Yeah, I think I'll have to install it again and see if it'll work. wonder if Good Old Games has a compatibility patch for it. Is that the one where the guy says, I have a hypothetical degree in hypothetical physics? We're almost done with these guys. Big mold lines on these guys' legs. Okay, thanks for stopping by, channel. It's always nice to see you. You go take care, okay? Good night, sir. The sci-fi biodome thing with testing ranges. Lots of different sci-fi technology. Stealth boots. Oh. See, now you got me like I should play it. Is the stealth better than I remember Skyrim? It ended up that stealth. If you leveled stealth too early, then later game you would no longer be stealthy to most people. Something like that. See, I kind of want to play as the ghoul now, because the whole gunslinger shtick is pretty cool with him. And that gun, whatever that gun is that he's got, gyrojet pistol. Really? I think you get up to 100 in stealth, and then the monsters. But that was back early on, so maybe they did something to it. But you get 100 stealth, and the shout to see enemies through walls. Oh, see, I never really did too much with the shouts. I think I ditched and went off on my own. Early on, I didn't even follow the main quest for the longest time. Oh, that goes there. But I just remember that with the way leveling worked, is that once you hit a certain level, 35 or something, that even with 100 stealth, guys would be seeing you, not super easily, but much easier than earlier on. But everybody eventually becomes a stealth archer in Skyrim. It's just too fun. Although sometimes with a detour into alchemy and crafting magic items. Have you tried Tainted Grail yet? I got that and I sat down for a good 3 hours and I was hooked on it. But then I'm oh, if I feel guilty now when I'm playing a game and I'm not painting. But Tainted Grail looks really good. I just got out the tutorial area and got to the first zone. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really should give it more of a chance. Yeah, it's very Skyrim-like, but it's harder core. It seems to be more serious, more dangerous. But it's full character builder sort of thing. At least that's an impression I got from it, because it's first-person dungeon explorer, and you start in a prison, and they ask you questions to create your character, and then you escape. And even on normal settings, it's no walkthrough. Like I think you can get killed pretty easily. And the art is pretty cool. And the intro song is kind of cool too. The intro song is very Celtic and then turns Nordic. It's interesting. Because the premise is you go into Avalon in search for what happened to King Arthur and such. There we go. All right, let's get these last two guys together. Oops. Oops, I missed a spot. And it's an indie game, maybe a small group of people, but there's a lot of depth to it, like lots of, oh, darn it. Maybe, well, it's weird when I put links to Barnes and Noble in the post section, even though like I'm posting it myself, it would not put that that post on the front page. It had it within the depths if people went looking for it, but it wasn't up there. And I was like, what the heck? And I was figured it must be because I put in a URL or something. And then I saw you commented. So I'm like, well, people must be able to see it. So weird. I'll try to do some searching, like in the settings, and see if there's a setting I can turn off, like we had on Twitch. Okay. Leg. Let's see how this leg goes. Like that. That's an ugly pose. Yep, that is an ugly pose. Oh well, that's what I get for trying to make assault marines out of obliterators. Not obliterators. Desolation. It'd be cool if they were obliterators. This doesn't feel like it goes on right. That's wrong. That's got to be wrong. We'll see. There we go. This is going to be a weird pose. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's sort of like this guy's reeling. He's like kind of pulling back into the side. Mm-hmm. There. All right. These last two, I'm getting there. Chain sword. Actually, I should do the other guy first. This actually works. But the plasma pistol, the pose works. That'll be good. Okay. Less so with this bolt pistol. If needs be, I'll just swap out. Oh, this is not going to work. Ooh, maybe it will. I kind of like it. Sort of like he's sweeping with a backhand. Cha! He's making a noise just like that. I'm going to have to get another power fist because I have this plasma gun going that way, and the power fist is going the opposite way, where he's like pointing. So his attention is in two different directions and should not be. So I got to get a power fist, which there's one right there. That works. Okay. Crisis averted. It's one of the typical plasma and power fist pose. I'm trying to drop the head into the slot. Failing. Good job. Okay. Seems there's no way to lock them in live chat. Oh well. That sucks. We'll have to figure out a way. My nephew was saying I should start up a Discord server. I'm like, nope. Those people are evil. Steal your data. Because I'm paranoid about data. There, Sergeant. All right. We're getting close, I think. Just tchotchkes now. And yet another divot I have to cover up because they have holes in their groin ecological area. Wait, that can't be right. There, that's better. All right. And base. All right. All right. That dude. Last one, the sergeant guy. He needs shield as well. And pistol holster to cover up the design defect. I'm converting these guys. And we need, which way is up on this thing? Okay, so this is a right facing one. Put it in here. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work. There. Still won't work. That just sucks. Maybe put it in there. Yeah, that works. Get a little glue there. And he needs a shield on his shoulder pad. There we go. Sarge. He needs his base still, but still. Sarge. And there. Desolation Marines into Assault Marines with extra pieces. Now I've got all these Desolation Marine bits of guns that I have no intention of using. Okay. Here are these 10 dudes. I think that's it for tonight, because I know if I open up the Dreadnought, that's going to be a good 2 hours and some. That's a little bit too late. But thanks for stopping by, Vanzig. It was nice to talk to you as always. NSC channel and Smooth Jazz. I'll talk to you guys later. And you have a good weekend. All right, man. See ya.